So it was another typical day on Sodor, or at least that's what it seemed like initially. And look, we're at Elsbridge Station. Again. The expectation of starting at this station for the third time was not on my list today, although the angle we are sitting at has not been presented like this before. Things were underway on the island of Sodor though, and Toby, Thomas, and Percy didn't even know it was happening.
Bust my buffers! Look over there! Mavis, Boko, Bill, Ben, Donald, Oliver, and Douglas paraded past. Good evening, you three!
That's definitely more engines featured in one scene than normal. And yet it's not everyone who's been introduced though. Think about it. We are in the 4th season and how many engines are there now? Too many to count. According to Thomas's driver, the engines that just passed by were on their way to the end of the line. Top Hat had a special announcement to make. I bet you. It's another engine coming on board, isn't it? Nah, actually it was a letter from a 5-year-old girl.
Dear Thomas and all the engines, please can I meet you? My friends say they would like to meet you too. You could come to my house for tea, but my mommy says there aren't any railway tracks to my house. Can you come to the station instead? Thank you very much.
Aw, that's a nice little note. I'm sure at this point in the show, there were some fans who actually were doing the same thing in real life. Who wouldn't want to meet Thomas and friends? Of course, now there's the Thomas Land theme park, but back then, there wasn't even a chance of something that exclusive happening. But according to Top Hat, this wasn't the only person. So in turn, he decided to bring Thomas and his friends to the big city far away, also known as the mainland.
Other engines will be working here while you're away, so please show them what to do. As Annie and Clarabelle were going to the big city too, Thomas and Oliver practiced with some other coaches.
Yes, and I would think the others were busy getting ready too. Someone's got to show Boko, Mavis, Donald, Douglas, and others what to do, and it would be cool to see some of that. But I guess that's not going to be done. Instead, it's just these two tankies. Of course, Thomas couldn't help but brag about his adventures to Oliver. Mostly the time where he raced Birdie back in Thomas and Birdie of Season 1. He was having so much fun telling Oliver he decided to act out his story. Poorly done, I might add.
Just like this, he boasted. No one was hurt, but Thomas's front was badly bent.
Why is this not surprising? Thomas really knows how to throw a monkey wrench into the machine. Then again, the only way Thomas could have done this was if his driver decided to have a lead foot out of nowhere, which is what I'm going with because engines can't move themselves. It's been debunked a while now. So with the condition Thomas was in, work had to be expedited quickly to make sure he could make the trip. However, the outcome was unclear all the way up until the moment it was time to leave.
Sir Topham Hatt looked at his watch. I'll wait 1 more minute for Thomas, then we have to go. Oh, thank goodness you're still here, panted Thomas.
Well, that was a lucky break considering Thomas might have screwed up one of his biggest adventures ever. I tell you, the guys at the works know how to move stuff fast. What's even stranger is the fact that those buffers didn't stop Thomas at all. I could see if it was one of those stupid red round dot signs at the end of the siding, but that wasn't so. So what, was that buffer made of foam or something? Probably in real life that might be true.
Later in the big city, all the engines were lined up in a splendid shed. The children were delighted to meet their friends. I'm glad the little girl wrote to us, whispered Thomas to Percy. Isn't it wonderful what happiness a letter can bring?
So where's the girl? I figured she would have at least been featured in this story. So much for that. I like this story for a number of reasons though, even if it still falls in the category of random because its structure is not working off of anything. What makes the narrative good is the fact that it somewhat breaks the fourth wall with the fan letter Top Hat's engines receive. It may be very much of what other fans have always dreamed about in some way or another. And this was the best visual representation the production could give. There's no real development for any particular character. It just features numerous engines and tells the story of what happens when people from the outside reach in. In some ways, it feels like it should be the final episode to the season, but that is not so. For music, there weren't any character themes featured. which is rather on point for this one, seeing that no engine in particular had a story arc. What was played was the chase theme at the start, the busy theme as Thomas works with Oliver, and Thomas's crash cue as he breaks through the buffers, which was funny to listen to again. As for locations, Ellsbridge Station is shown, thankfully this time from the opposite side, which has hardly been done. Then there's the shunting yards, Top Hat's office with old Dookie Boy hanging in the background, and lastly Tidmouth Sheds in the evening sunlight. Quite pretty if you ask me. Next episode is Paint Pots and Queens. Thanks for watching.